The Apple versus Epic trial in Oakland is officially adjourned. Joining us now to talk about that is CNET senior reporter Shara Tibken. Shara, first tell us about the trial. For those not familiar with it, what was it all about?
Yeah, this was a really closely watched trial in the tech industry. What's at stake is how Apple runs the App Store. Basically, Epic, they make the game Fortnite. They're saying that Apple has too much control, it runs a monopoly, and the only way that iPhone users can access Fortnite is through Apple's App Store. And as part of that, Apple also takes a cut of whatever money Epic makes on it. Epic is saying this isn't fair. So the two went to trial to battle this out in the court and have a judge decide whether Apple's right in saying that it operates the App Store in the way it does to protect consumers, or if Epic is right and that Apple just has too much control over that entire industry.
So when can we expect there to be a decision in the case?
It's going to be a while. The judge said she's hoping to have a verdict by around mid-August. That could always change, but hopefully this summer is when we'll find out the verdict.
And speaking of Apple, it has some new accessibility features coming out soon. Tell us about those.
Some of these things are really cool, and they're going to help people who have special needs. One of the first things that you can find right now is the ability to go into an Apple store or talk to Apple support using sign language. All you have to do is select that as an option if you live in the US, the UK, or France, and you'll immediately be able to communicate with somebody using sign language. Some of the other things we're going to see is something called background sounds. This is to kind of help people drown out just kind of the chaos around them. You can have kind of the sounds of like a burbling stream in the background of whatever you're doing. This isn't just for people who maybe have kind of sensory needs. This could also just be somebody working in a coffee shop and they like kind of the busy atmosphere, but the noise is just too much for them to concentrate. So you could turn this on, hear this sound in the background of whatever it is you're doing, and just hopefully focus and calm down and just, be able to concentrate on whatever it is you're doing.
And how does the new Apple Watch feature work?
This is one that is really interesting. Apple worked on a feature for people who only have the use of one arm, such as amputees. And basically what it's doing is it created a way to control the Apple Watch with only one hand. So the way an Apple Watch has traditionally worked, you wear it on one wrist and then you use the touch screen to navigate, all of that. What it's doing now is it has a feature where there's sensors that basically sense the movements of your muscles and your tendons to navigate around the screen. So it turns off the touch screen, and by doing things like closing your fist or pinching your fingers, you'll be able to navigate around the display and signal the watch to do different actions. So this is just really going to make it a lot easier for people who only have the use of one limb to be able to use the Apple Watch.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, the digital divide is something you've been following closely at CNET. What is the latest?
Yeah, a colleague and I are working on a package right now about one of the biggest issues when it comes to a reason why people don't have internet at home, and that is affordability. So one of the big reasons that people can't access the internet is because there is no service in their area. But what you find in a lot of big cities or poorer neighborhoods is that people aren't online because they can't afford the service. So we're kind of taking a look at the big issue and exploring different options for kind of fixing this. President Biden has made this a big focus of his infrastructure plan. So it's going to be something that is getting a lot of attention over the coming months and years.
And speaking of that pricing, what are some ways to solve the problem of internet being just too expensive?
This is a really difficult problem to solve. There are some things like the emergency broadband benefit, which is available right now, that is a $50 credit for people to use for their internet service. That is probably not going to last forever. So there's a lot of governments, private organizations, nonprofits trying to figure out alternatives. One of those, Microsoft has partnered with a bunch of nonprofits and companies in different cities to bring less expensive internet to the citizens. So in LA, in public housing, Microsoft and Starry, a low-cost internet provider, have basically wired all of the public housing, or they're in the process of wiring all the public housing in LA so that anybody who lives in any of those apartments can sign up for the service. They don't have to have credit checks. They don't have to sign a contract. There's no hidden fees. All they do is go online, sign up for the service, and they pay $15 a month for broadband in their homes in public housing. So that sort of thing is popping up all over the country. So we're really seeing a lot of different groups and states and different entities trying to figure out how to make sure that everybody in the country can get online.
Yeah, increasing that access. Shara Tibken with CNET, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.